Welcome to the Party Record, along with Irwin Prescott. We'd like to explain to you, first of all, that the story that we are going to sing to you is nothing risky. It's only song titles that we've taken from country and western records, from pop records, and records on down through the years. And it's a song entitled about two little old maids. We think you might enjoy it. It starts like this. Well, now two old maids laying in bed, one rolled over to the other and said, "What you gonna do now? Will you show me how? Don't keep me waiting. What you gonna do now?" Well, now two old maids laying in bed, one rolled over to the other and said, "You just better not do that." And I said, "Why?" She said, "'Cause you better not do that." A great Canadian artist, the one and only Hank Snow, came out with a fabulous number a few years back that went, two old maids laying in bed, one rolled over to the other and said, "It don't hurt anymore. All my teardrops have dried. No more walking the floor. All with a burning inside." A follow-up, but Hank did not record this one, went, two old maids laid in bed, one rolled over to the other and said, "It tickles, it tickles. I like it, but it sure feels funny. It's a tickling me." Then we turned around and we crossed the sea over to Liverpool, where the boys with the long hairdos came out, and they were writing some fabulous numbers called the Beatles. And they did numbers like this. Two old maids are lying in bed, one rolled over to the other and said, "Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'd miss you. I swear that my love will be true. And then while I'm away, I'm gonna write home every day. I'll save all my loving for you." Another one of the numbers that the Beatles really came out with, a big smash hit, two old maids lying in bed, one rolled over to the other and said, she was just 17. Oh, you know what I mean. And the way she looked, way beyond compare. Now how could I dance with her mother? Oh no, when her father, he was standing there. Up in Scotland, George is from Scotland. I see George sitting in the audience down here tonight, and he really likes this number. It went, two old maids lying in bed, one rolled over to the other and said, "I got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Oh, there they are standing in a row. There stands the wife, the idol of his life. Sing a roll-a-bowl-a-bowl-a to your pitch." Then we turn around, we come way back across the ocean, back into 1939. That's before any of our time. That's the audience that we have sitting in here tonight. Bing Crosby. I don't know too much of Bing's numbers, but he goes, two old maids laying in bed, one rolled over to the other and said, "Red sails in the sunset. Bo, 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 bo." Glenn Bing came out with a Christmas number. Several other ones recorded it. Went, two old maids laying in bed, one rolled over to the other and said, "Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. This is going back a long, long time. I'd like to tell you a few stories about two old maids. Did you ever hear the story of the two old maids who got on a drunk? What a trip he had. Or the story about the old maid who prayed and prayed all her life something big would happen to her. She was standing on the dock and her pier collapsed. But anyway, this old maid, she was such a wonderful old girl. One night a little elf appeared up on her bed, and he said, "Old maid, you've been so wonderful all your life, but I'm going to give you any 3 wishes that you want." She thought and thought for a minute, and she said, "Well, I'd like to have $1 million." And right there on the foot of the bed appeared $1 million, and she was flabbergasted by this. He said, "Now you've got 2 left. What would you like?" She said, "Well, I would like to be young and beautiful like I was when I was middle-aged, about 17 or 18. And she turned into the most devastating little chick you ever saw in all your life. He said, "You've got 1 left. Now use it very wisely." She thought and thought for a minute and said, "See that old tomcat laying over there in that window sill? Well," she said, "I've had him about 18 years, and he is the finest old tomcat, faithful to me." She said, "I'd like him to turn into a handsome young man and just cuddle me." Well, he turned into a gasser, I'll tell you. He walked over and swept her into his arms, and he kissed her in the hair and the forehead and the eyebrows and the eyes and the nose, the mouth, the chin and the neck. Back onto the chin and the mouth and the nose and the eyes and the eyebrows and the forehead and the hair. And he said, "Martha, tell me something." She said, "I'll tell you anything." He said, "Why in the hell did you take me to a veterinarian for when I was just a kitten?"